Super Mario Bros. Wonder has been out for a few weeks now, and I'm finally in a position to give you guys my thoughts on the game. If anyone is wondering why this didn't come out on the day of the game's release, it's because I wouldn't do that to myself. I have a life, I think. After 10 hours of playtime in the game, it is finally complete, and I have to say, wow, this game is wonderful. I'm sorry. There is so much to love about this platformer, and this video is going to be going over all of my opinions on each part of the game. So, strap yourself in for another amazing Nxcturnal video. Mario Wonder has blown my expectations out of the water. If anyone watched my video going over the concerns of the game, you'll remember I spoke about my worry that there would be a lack of content. That is not the case at all. Each world is formed of several incredibly diverse, creative, and fun levels to traverse, each with their own unique music, enemies, and set pieces. Although 10 hours for a £50 game may seem like a terrible return on investment, I can see myself playing this game over and over and over again in the near future. I found that with all the 2D Mario games, the first playthrough with them is very special, but not so much to the point that you're afraid to play the game again for the second time round. Each story in the 2D Mario universe isn't intended to be some glorious masterpiece that changes the video game industry forever. Mario's bread and butter is the gameplay, and Nintendo seems to know this so well, as they've done the perfect job at making this game exactly what it needed to be. A fun platformer with a red Italian man. Good job, guys. The three big new additions to the Mario series are the new power-ups, being Elephant Mario, Drill Mario, and Bubble Mario. These all get used in surprisingly more ways than I anticipated. They aren't thrown in here to add some random new content, they're here because they actually matter and can drastically affect how you go through levels. The Elephant power-up is one of the most disturbing yet enjoyable power-ups ever added to Mario, as it feels like a more complex version of the Mega Mushroom used in the DS and 3DS games. Many levels, like for example this fire stage, is built around Mario needing to use his trunk to spray water and put out all the heat trapped in these blocks. It's a welcoming addition to the series, despite how worried I am for what it's going to be used for in the Mario movie too, but we will see. We also have the drill shroom that feels similar to the drill you could use in Mario Galaxy, albeit with much more freedom. This nifty shroom allows you to burrow underground to avoid hazards and to even find secret areas only accessible with it equipped. And finally we have the bubble shroom. He shoots bubbles. I don't know what more you expected. We can't get too far into this video without discussing the most important aspect of this game, the Wonder Seeds. These little things feel like when you hear the beat switch on Never for the first time, but in every single level. When you grab them, the already well-designed level transforms into a bombastic and fascinating trip that would make any LSD user suffer tremendously. Some levels at the start of the game keep you as the player, but change everything around you, whether that be the speed of the enemies, the gravity of the level, or the overall intensity of the stage. However, as you get further into the game, you start turning into blobs of goo, blocks of goo, this thing. To have these events take place on such a consistent basis makes the charm of this game never back down. Mario is already charming enough, so to raise the bar even higher from New Super Mario Bros. U is astonishing, and a true testament to Nintendo's constant ability to innovate. I'd say my favourite wonder effect would have to be the silhouette transformation, as it adds a level of mystery and difficulty to the levels it's available on. Badges are another new addition to the series that aim to add new gameplay mechanics throughout your adventure. Progressing through the game unlocks several different badges that you can use to change up how you play. Some of these give you special abilities such as higher jumps, faster swimming, gliding, and more. Others grant you some bonuses such as the safety bounce, which gives you some extra security for your platforming. Then there are these new ones which sort of act as random gimmick badges that aren't necessary to the game and how you play, but are more there for novelty and to potentially add some replayability to the game later down the line. I haven't got around to using these much at all, but at a later point in the future, I could definitely see myself using these. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know what these things are, I don't know why they exist, I don't know what the point of them is, I've never used one, I just like collecting them. Yeah, they're cool to collect. Next. I haven't used it. Next. This is, hands down, the best Mario has ever looked besides the movie. obviously. Nintendo made a brilliant choice this time around, trying to revamp the traditional and basic art style of the previous titles, and have gone all out on making this game super expressive. Everything from the tree swaying in the background, all the way down to the subtle movements made by the playable characters. The liveliness of this game shines in every level thanks to the amazing work that these animators have done. Every small movement adds to the already great level of charm there is. I even love the general aesthetic of the game, with all the swirls, blobby shapes and zigzags that are used for things such as the pause menu, and even during the wonder effects. It reminds me a lot of Sonic Generations in a way, which has what I consider to be one of the best overall aesthetics in any video game. I do still prefer 3D World's Mario style over this one, but for the 2D titles, this game is absolutely the best looking in the series. It's so hard to describe it without just saying every word that means excellent in the English language, and so I will now use a quote from our main man Luigi to sum up my thoughts in a different manner.
Oh, wow,
I'm still in this weird spot where I cannot decide if making Peach a playable character is a good choice or not. This opinion may be carried by nostalgia, but I think the simple premise of rescuing Princess Peach from Bowser is a flawless baseline for each game, and to see that be different in this game feels a little bit strange. You additionally have several other playable characters in your roster, half of which being immune to all enemies, as well as having an inability to power up, which basically writes them all off for me. I understand the addition of it all, but if it were me, I would have liked to see an option in the settings to make the game like that as a whole, rather than making 5 of the characters essentially locked into that playstyle. I don't know, maybe someone's little brother might appreciate it, I'm not sure. As mentioned before, gameplay takes center stage in Mario Wonder, with the story taking a relaxing backseat. In no way do I think the story is bad at all, in fact I think it's pretty amazing. It doesn't feel like there's a proper threat from Bowser. Minor spoiler warning to anyone wanting to play but hasn't yet, there are very few boss fights in this game, and all besides one is just Bowser Jr. using multiple different wonder effects. As someone who grew up on these games, I actually think this is something that partially ruins the experience for me. I love travelling through each world and going up against a boss every single time, whether that be some brand new boss that's been added to the series, or one of the Koopalings. It makes the progression of the game feel more fluid and acts sort of as a checkpoint of your in-game progress. World 3, for example, in this game doesn't even have a boss. The end is just you walking into a hut and being like, oh, the raw seed, yeah. For me, that part of the game was certainly disappointing, but wasn't a deal breaker. And to counter everything I just said, I think the final level of the game and the final boss is actually one of the best 2D levels I think this series has ever had, which was such a blast to play, and I hope you guys play it because I am not showing it in this. Nada nada nope. Fuck this world. As you could tell by that joyful expression, these levels make me want to do deplorable things to these wannabe Toadfuckers. At the time of writing the script, I've only managed to complete 2 of these levels, and I already want to give up. With any special world in any Mario game, this is absolutely no joke. 5-year-old Timmy will be 52 by the time he could complete these. I'm just praying the final stage isn't going to be like this one. I think these stages are fun, and I think they add a lot of replay value, and going a bit off script here, I actually love these kind of levels, although they make me so fucking angry. They're brilliant, especially the timed one I played first. It is actually incredibly fun. All these nitpicks and critiques I have certainly don't take away from Wonder's charm. The game is so much more than I anticipated, and most of my disappointment from it comes mostly from nostalgia, holding such a massive spot in my heart. Everything this game offers you is so addictive and amusing that I'm certain it will live on to be one of the best Mario games of all time. Don't get me wrong, there are some heavy hitters that we can never compete with, but what Nintendo has delivered here is a game that not only builds on the everlasting success of these previous titles, but pushes boundaries for creativity in gaming as a whole. Also, the music levels, they're cool, but Rayman did it better. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you've made it this far. Let me know in the comments what you think of Mario Wonder, and if you want to see any more content regarding it. Thank you again. I'll see you all soon. Peace.
Jack smells.